All right, guys, another beautiful day. The ground temp is approaching 50 during, what time is it? 3 o'clock during the day. Looks like we're probably about a month away from spring. Looks like spring will be coming early. I don't know, man, because I thought winter was coming and it never showed up. And now it looks like spring is coming, but it'll probably change its mind. Who knows? Nevertheless, this is where we are right now. So we have weird things like this. My tulips, or daffodils, or tulips, or daffodils. Here's the thing. This is why the debate is out on this, right? Joyce from the extension office, she took one look at these and she said, daffodils. My wife, however, was here last year when they bloomed in April, she said, and they only lasted a week, and she swears that they were tulips, right? And any other opportunity, I'd be like, I'm going with the pro. But we went to the Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands. So we went to the Netherlands about 2-3 years ago when I was living in Europe, and we went and we checked out the Keukenhof Gardens. It's supposed to be a worldwide attraction. People are supposed to come from all over the world to see these tulips, this wonderful arrangement. So in my mind, I have like this Walt Disney thing played out, right? I'm like, the wife and I, we're gonna hold hands. We're gonna be walking through the tulip garden. It's gonna be like the little sunny haze look as we're walking and enjoying ourselves. And we're gonna have the dog out there and the dog is gonna love it. I just had this Walt Disney World thing in my head of what it was gonna be like. Listen, guys, we got there and it was nothing like that. It was people everywhere. Of course, we went during the highest time of the year, which the blooms were the best. So we got there, the weather was crappy, and there was people everywhere. If you could think of King's Dominion for flowers, that's exactly what this was. It was not peaceful at all. But one thing we did look at was all of the different kinds of tulips they had, and they had every type out there. So when my wife says that those are tulips, I have to kind of think that she knows what she's talking about. And I've done my own research, and I think that they're daffodils, right? But my wife and my neighbor's wife, they swear that they were tulips. So the verdict's still out there on that. Let me know what you think. In the eye in the top right corner, I'm gonna start a poll on tulips or daffodils. So make sure you vote. It's right up there. Just hit the little eye. The vote will be up there. Let me know what your vote is, tulips or daffodils, and we'll see when they bloom, what's it gonna be? All right, stay tuned. Pacific Northwest. Yo, we got a lot of stickers up here now, guys. Man, there's a lot of new people on the board. If you don't notice a name, go check them out. You might like their content. All right, let's get into it. It is almost spring. So the things that you see that I'll be doing today, I didn't plan on doing them until I think it was March 15th. And the reason why I was gonna do it around March 15th is that's because what Joyce told me to do, as simple as that, which is trim back some of my lily turf. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the dead ends off of those. We're going to go ahead and trim back my autumn joys, the sedums that I have. I'm gonna trim back my bushes to 12 to 18 inches. I'm gonna prune down my mums, my chrysanthemums, because they're already resprouting and showing me new life of sign. Like, I'm getting all the signs that spring is here or is about to come. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the things that I was supposed to do in March right now. It's no more complicated than that, guys. So, and it gives me a chance to play with this bad boy, right? So you saw me in my last video, me doing my soil testing. I think I'm gonna release that video before this. I don't know. I kind of do videos, multiple videos at once if you haven't caught on, but that's what I do because that's what's best for my schedule. So we'll see. But anyway, this is a new cool tool, new addition to the family. It is called the Hedge Hunter, Hori Hedge Hunter. Cool, sweet blade. Lonesome Pine is the one who sells it on Amazon. Right now you can find it on Amazon Prime for $34.95. That's with shipping including if you have Prime. I don't know what the price is if you don't have Prime because I've had Prime for a very long time. You saw it all day? I've had Prime for a very long time. Very long time. Okay, anyway. Also, speaking of Amazon, things that I picked up, I got me a mixer. Guys, on the off season, if you don't have one of these, right? when you saw me do my humic bomb, I mentioned if you had a mixer, that would have been a good time to use it. And I thought, you know, why don't I have a mixer? So I went on Amazon and I picked up this mixer for $8.98, right? With shipping included. Check that out, yeah, you like that? And it gets the job done. That will connect to your drill right there. And then once you get it in there, you'll just put it in your tank and mix it. That's what this is for. So, all season, get your tools right, clean your tools up. Let's prep for the good season to come. And so I got 2 new tools and I'll only be using one of them today. And I'm gonna see if this isn't really, this is serrated, right? And I think that this is more so for like sod and stuff, but I'm gonna see if it can handle the lily turf, which I think it should be able to stand up to the lily turf just fine. And then we're gonna hand prune back the mums, the autumn sedums, and then I'm going to take the hedge trimmers to the bushes, because I'm not doing that. I'm not hand pruning those. We're not doing that. Let's see if this Hori holds up to the test. All I did here was, oh, that worked beautiful too. Oh man. Okay, so we know that works. So all I did was take a piece of 550 cord, is what we refer to it as in the military. I believe that's because the tensile strength is 550 pounds. So I took the 550 cord and then I just tied a little slip knot and then I slipped it over there and like got my bunches prepped up together ahead of time. So now that we know that worked, we'll just go down the line and finish chopping them up. All right, so that soil knife, even though we're done with it for today, it's gonna come in handy when I go to move these mums, because these mums aren't actually going to be staying here either. These mums will be going into some flower pots here in the near future. I will be replacing this spot also with dahlias. So the dahlias are going to end up going here as well, and I'm gonna move these into their own little flower pots. So when we are clipping these, we just want to take them down all the way to where the new growth is. Right above where your new growth is showing for your chrysanthemums is going to be good to go. So that's all I'm doing. I'm taking it down to right above to where that new growth is. So as you can see right there on the screen, you can see the new growth coming in. And then when I get done, you'll see that I just cleaned it up. I took all the dead stuff out. And really guys, you could have done this after the first hard freeze that we got, but I had a lot going on and I knew it could wait, so I didn't worry about it. One of my neighbors around here has broke out their smoker. I smell it. I smell the wood chips burning. We like to have little friendly battles on our street outside of the lawn, because I'm clearly winning there and dominating, which is why I had that brown paper from the vermicompost video I did. I usually, you know, do a 3-hour, I do a 2-2-1 is usually the technique I do for my ribs. 2 hours unwrapped, 2 hours wrapped, and then 1 more hour unwrapped to get them firmed back up. Depending on the slab, you know, it might be shorter, but it smells good out here. So another thing that I forgot to mention that we're gonna go ahead and do is take back my lilies. I thought about taking them out the ground, but I'm not. I'm gonna give them another year. And also, I didn't do the proper things I should have done, which is deadhead the lilies. Apparently, those are big flowers that you can deadhead as well that will encourage more blooms. And I didn't take advantage of that because I didn't know what I was doing. But nevertheless, I know now. So I'm not gonna give up on them quite yet. I'm going to do a better job of taking care of them this next season. So let's go over here, knock down the lilies, then let's knock down the autumn sedums, and then whack down these bushes. But no need to do that in slow-mo. I'm gonna speed you up to spare you the wait. Well, that was fun. And I think it looks good. Now I know some of you might be asking yourself, why in the heck did I just take my bushes down to 12 to 18 inches? And there's a reason behind that. Actually, there's more than one reason behind that. So I live right here on the bay. Literally, I walk like 500 meters that way and the bay is right there. And then I got like this water, this man-made pond thing, which I think is just for like flash floods overflows, which is back there. So I have sitting water pretty much surrounding me. So the mosquitoes were horrible, and I already told you I'm using the Spartan mosquitoes this year. Part of my tactic was also to trim back my holly bushes, which needed it anyway. And I kind of needed a reset over here in this space anyway. When I went and I saw Joyce, she was like, you could take those bushes down to 12 to 18 inches because the people before me were kind of trimming them in a concave or this wine glass type formation, which is not actually the healthiest thing for these types of shrubs. And Joyce encouraged me to knock them all the way down, so when they come back, I allow them to grow out more fuller and actually trim them a healthier way conducive to their type. So also what I'm doing is taking back the natural habitat of the mosquitoes that were harboring here. Sorry, that sun is like really killing me. So it was harboring a lot of mosquitoes here, and since it was harboring a lot of mosquitoes, I also thought I would take back some of that habitat that they were using to, you know, reproduce. So all in all, this whole area should look a lot better here in about 2 to 3 months. Let's see, fingers crossed, let's see. And then we'll go from there. So I took the lilies down, and another thing, the lilies could have came down after the first hard freeze as well. But I wasn't in no rush to get to it, and besides, they're fine the way they are. So when they come back, it's gonna be awesome just to see what this looks like when it starts to come back. So I did go around the bushes and I pulled back some of the mulch about 3 to 6 inches away from the base, just because that was a tip that I read, and I figured why not do it. Apparently it's gonna keep from the base of your woody plants and shrubs from rotting out, which can happen if you have too much of a wet spring, which is really what we're in line for right now. Pretty heavy, saturated spring. So thanks for tuning in again for another episode of Turf Therapy, where we are healing lawns and souls. And I'll see you next time for your weekly dose of therapy with Rob.